Hi, and welcome to my channel, End of Life Care. My name is Debbie, and my desire is to share information with you about end of life care and planning. But I have to be honest with you, this is my first long video, and I've been working on it all day, literally all day. My phone was just about to die. I had to plug it in so I could finish, and I decided that's it. I'm just going to do the video, start to finish. No editing, because guess what? My editing skills suck. I'm not good at editing. I don't even know how at this point. I have to be honest. So instead, I'm going to use my notes. I'm going to give you the information that I hope you'll find meaningful. I ask that you would just subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to learn about in regard to end of life care, and we'll just get started, okay? So today we're talking about a very meaningful topic. It's one that many may find really difficult to have, and that is a conversation around end of life preferences. What do you want at end of life? What does your mother or your father, your loved one, your husband, your wife, your spouse, your partner, what do they want at end of life? Some of the things that really are important to discuss at end of life are medical care and preferences, living arrangements and care needs, financial and legal information, personal legacy and farewells, practical planning, and emotional and relationship topics. And though I'm not going to go into those topics deeply today, I would ask that if you're interested in having more information about each one of those topics, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and I'll create a video, however good or bad it is. I'm going to give you information that I think will be helpful, because I have a lot of information and I can give you what I know, but what I really need is for you to tell me what you'd like to know. So let's just talk about it now. What you're hearing just now may make you feel pretty uncomfortable. Having that conversation can be awkward, but please know it's not a conversation that needs to happen all at once. It's about opening the door, having a little bit of information come out, and that small bit of information is a beginning, and it can make a tremendous difference. In my time as a patient care representative for hospice, I often helped families begin these conversations. And when I did, I noticed that sharing one's wishes and explaining what you want at end of life can help the family members to feel more prepared. It gives a sense of control when you're in a situation where really you don't have any control. It promotes a shared understanding and can foster peace, not only in the person who's sharing their plans or information, but in their friends, families, and caregivers. It provides a tool that's needed to honor the choices and with confidence when the time comes. So today, I'm going to slow down. My hope is to offer you some guidance, some reassurance, and some practical tips to start these conversations in a way that feels gentle, genuine, and loving. The most important step is to simply get started, just like this, just like me giving this video today. I'm prepared, but nervous and not knowing exactly how to do it. It's okay. We're just going to get the information out there. This isn't a conversation that needs to be completed all at once. Excuse me. It's something that can and will evolve over time. So let's begin with the why. Why have the conversation? Well, because it's because it's understanding the heart behind the conversation can help make it easier and just easier to take that first step. Talking about end of life wishes is a gift. It brings clarity and peace to those we care about, making sure that in the moment of uncertainty, everyone feels a little more prepared and a little more connected. These conversations won't remove the grief that is to come, but they can offer reassurance, helping those involved know that they are honoring your wishes as the loved one. When you share these conversations, you're giving something invaluable. The confidence that when the time comes, they'll be acting in a way that reflects what matters most to the person you love. And that, to me, is truly beautiful. So, when should this conversation begin? In a perfect world, it would happen before there was even a diagnosis, when somebody was actually still healthy. But since that's not what happens, let me say there is no perfect time. One thing I can share is that starting earlier, when things are calm, maybe right after the diagnosis, a terminal diagnosis, is often easier than waiting till the crisis moment. So, and if you've been thinking about having this conversation, if you've had little nudges that maybe it's time to bring it up, then it probably is. Small, early conversations lay the foundation for deeper understanding later. You don't have to dive into the conversation and everything isn't going to be planned out at once. Think of it as a series of open-ended conversations that evolve over time. Now let's talk about environment. Where should you have this conversation? Well, obviously, or maybe not so obviously, a quiet, private place that's calm can help everyone feel more at ease. So try to pick a setting that feels familiar and comfortable and that is free of distractions. It can be at home, in your living room, outside in your garden, and at a family member's home. It just needs to be a place where families can come together. And honestly, some families do better having conversations when they're working at a project together. Maybe you're working in the yard or having a meal together or completing a task. Do what feels most natural to you. The goal is simply to create a safe atmosphere where everyone feels heard and respected. So think about your family and figure out what style, if you will, works best for them and plan around that. Now, how do we actually start the conversation in a way that doesn't feel abrupt or unnatural? Beginning with a personal observation, a story, or even a question can be helpful. And one way to ease into that could be to say, for example, I saw something about end-of-life care the other day, and it made me think of my own wishes. I'd really like to share those with you. Are you comfortable with that? Would that be okay? This approach is gentle, and it shows that you're coming from a thoughtful place. If you want to open a conversation up with someone close to you who is approaching end of life, a way to do that may be to express a desire to understand their wishes. You might say, hey mom, have you ever thought about what you'd want at end of life? And maybe if something unexpected were to happen, I'd really love to know what we can do for you I'd really like to know what we can do for you at end of life. What would be meaningful to you? This opens the door to them sharing as much as they're comfortable with, and it allows you to simply listen. Sometimes just expressing curiosity is enough. Remember, these are tender conversations and they don't need to be rushed like I've been doing in this video. But it's about trusting and building understanding over time and just one step at a time. A family I'm close to decided to talk to their mom early about her wishes, long before there were any health concerns. And because of that, when the time actually came for her end of life, her children didn't have to guess about anything. Things were planned out. They knew what she wanted. They knew what to expect. And they were able to move forward in peace, knowing they were honoring their mother's wishes. Starting early, before emotions are high and stress takes over your ability to think clearly, it won't take away the grief, but it can bring comfort in knowing that everyone is honoring what matters most. As you have these conversations, I encourage you to take notes, ask clarifying questions, repeat key points, help ensure everybody repeating key points will help ensure that everyone's in alignment and you're all on the same page. If you're listening right now and your thoughts are like, yeah, right, that won't work for my family, I just ask that you subscribe and leave a comment, because I'd like to hear what you have to say. We can have other discussions about more complicated situations. I'm happy to serve you in that way. So if you've stayed with me through this, up to this point, I want you to know you're taking a really powerful step forward. You're creating an environment where understanding and compassion can grow. Having these conversations will help your loved ones feel more prepared when it truly matters. And as we close today, I'd like to leave you with a single thought. Starting these talks, even in small ways, helps normalize the conversation around end-of-life care. It becomes part of a love and respect we share with those closest to us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having these open conversations. Thank you for giving me grace as I share information with you. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. And until next time, take care.